One really big issue that high achievers deal with, yes, I know you struggle with this. And it is this idea that I'm going to start something and I'm going to be damn good at it. And I'm going to crush it. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to make a bunch of money. And I'm going to land the ideal partner. And whatever avenue of life, whatever category you want to focus on, I know you struggle with this problem because I did as well. And especially if you've been an athlete before or something where you've really put yourself out into some sort of endeavor or activity that you really wanted to win in, like you wanted to be successful. And in sport, what I found was I got conditioned into believing that I need to be perfect. I need to be all set up and locked in and ready to go when I step on the field. Not realizing that the body of work that I put in prior to that moment impacted and had an influence on how I showed up in that moment on that field. And how it pertains to you is you want to go into that sales conversation, you want to land the deal. You want to be the top in your organization. You want to be the top in your industry. You want to make a bunch of money. You want to have and enjoy a lot of the fruits of your life. And yet in the present moment, you're struggling with that. What I know is, going back to our days as being athletes, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Now, I know you've heard this before, and this lies the problem. You've heard it before, yet you're not implementing it. It's not something that you apply into your life today. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. See, you can't win the game in the first quarter. You can't win the game at halftime. You can only win the game at the end of the game. You cannot win the race at a start. You must win a race at the end. And I tell you, if you've ever been a track and field athlete, you'll be able to relate to this. But I'm going to share with you my story as far as being a track and field athlete, more specifically one race in particular. It's the 100 meters. See, the 100 meters is really a great reflection of life. It's not how you start, how you finish. Because you could be the fastest, most powerful force pushing out of the blocks and starting a race. You could be the best starter in the world and could not be the fastest in the world. See, the thing about the 100 meters is the fastest person is not who wins. It's the person that slows down the least that wins. Someone who is sustainable, someone who can endure, and it's not that, we're talking 9, 10, 11, 12 seconds, depending on your age and ability. So we're not talking about a long period of time here. But within that, the microcosm of that race, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And how you finish is by slowing down the least. It's inevitable. The human body can only accelerate for a certain amount of time. And at that point, it's going to begin to decelerate. And if you're able to decelerate slower than the person next to you, there's a good chance you're going to finish ahead of them. And this just plays, let's talk about health, for example. I'm 49 years old, I'm approaching the big 5-0, and I'm feeling better than ever. And I'm not where I was in my 20s. I know it because I've tried in my performance. I'm not achieving the same levels that I did in my 20s. In some areas, in some others, I'm exceeding. But I'm talking about the things I used to do in my 20s, I still do today, just not with the same power, the same force, the same explosiveness, the same speed. In my head, it's there. My body is saying a different story. Yet, however, I am not looking at it as from back in my 20s. I'm looking at it and saying, look, I want to make sure in my 50s, in my 60s, my 70s, and beyond that I'm going to slow down slower than everybody else. See, we know the body is only going to take, at some point it reaches its peak and then it starts to go on a decline. And you can aid in that decline by poor eating habits, poor exercise habits, stress, pressure that you put on yourself or in your environment. And you can accelerate that decline, or you can slow it down. So it's not like a steep decline. It's just kind of a steady decline, so that you look and feel 10 years younger than you actually are. And so, but that's intentional, because if you just let the body go, it's going to go on a steep cliff decline. You have to be intentional about ensuring that you're going to be sustainable. You can maintain your speed, your energy, your focus, your vibrancy throughout the remainder of your life. And for me, my whole goal is just I'm just going to maintain, and I'm going to drop off it someday. I'm not going to go through this long, steady decline or jump off a cliff. Metaphorically speaking, I'm just going to just maintain, and when it's my time to roll, it's time to roll. Same thing in your business, your career. It's stepping in and winning and crushing it in the very beginning. You got to be consistent. You got to have the clarity when you show up. You got to have the conviction that this is where you want to be. You want to have the consistency, the commitment, and by doing so, that's where the certainty shows up. If you haven't dove into my 5 C's, it's one of my other videos there, the 5 C's and applying into high performance. But it rings true. You want to have, if you have that consistency in showing up in all areas of life, you're going to put yourself in position to build up for how you're going to finish. And I'm talking about end of life. This could be end of the month, end of the quarter, end of the year, end of the sales cycle, whatever it may be. Like you're putting yourself in position to finish strong, regardless of the start that you got with, that you had. And so it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I really want you to, and I'll give you in real time. Right now, I'm building out my YouTube channel. And in the beginning, not even about 30 days ago, and I've just been kind of steady adding to it. 30 days ago, I'm getting 0 views, 1 view, 2 views, and they were me. And now all of a sudden, I've been clear on my message. I've been consistent with it. Now it's starting to grow. Now I'm getting views on videos I did a month ago that were sitting on 1 view, and that was me. So when you're consistent, you're showing up, you build upon the foundation that you have. I'm not saying that you disregard all the work that you've done. All that, we'll go back to the sports. All that work you did in the weight room, in the off season, in the training, in the conditioning, and then you get into preseason, you get into the early season, and by the end of the season, it's all about peaking. We're peaking for the end of the season when the championships are there. You're peaking for the end of this month, end of this quarter, end of this year, for your 5-year goals. You're putting yourself in position to peak. Be patient, my friend. Lean into it and be consistent and have that conviction and obviously the commitment to your craft and to being patient and to letting it work itself out. It's going to work itself out. I know it to be true. I got a vision for what I want for my life in the next 36 months, next 5 years. And it's beyond what I thought was possible when starting. And now I'm looking at I'm starting to see some little wins that are adding up to what's going to happen. It's already here. It's just executing the steps now. So let me say that again. It's already here. It's just a matter of putting one foot in front of the other when you cannot see the finish line. Finish line is there. And it's about you finishing strong. So I hope this was helpful. Just a reminder. It's just all this is. I'm just reminding you. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So if you've started out and your business is struggling, man, get that clarity, get the conviction, get the consistency, get the commitment, and start to develop that certainty that you're exactly where you need to be and that the finish line is going to produce the results that you want. You can't control it, but you can put yourself in a better position by putting forth the effort to achieve that. So it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Be sustainable, right? That's all about being patient with the process and knowing that everything you're doing right now is going to add up to something you can't see now, but you're starting to live it. You're starting to live it right now, knowing that finish line is where you can't see it, but it's there, and you're going to get the results that you're looking for. So if you're in that position, you're saying, hey, I'm ready to finish in the way that I want to have. I don't want to go off the steep cliff, whether it's my business or in my health or in my relationships. I just want to have that nice, steady growth. And by growth, I mean, I'm not talking about the old hockey stick of growth you used to have, but the consistency that ensures that over the long term, you're not having a steady decline, and you're going to finish stronger than ever. If you're ready for that, simply go to BeTheTorch.com. You can DM me. I'm at Cletus Coffey on all social channels. Leave a comment here. Give me, finish line. Put put a comment in the here that you're ready to have success and cross that finish line with the feeling. And I'm not talking about the ultimate finish line. No. There's plenty of finish lines that you have just over this month, over this quarter, in this year. Let's get you crossing the finish line with the feelings and the freedom and the flexibility and the finances. There's a bunch of F's there that you really want to have, you deserve, and that you desire. The finish line in the comments here, and let's connect. I want to be able to support you in this process. You can't do it alone. You cannot change the world from on an island. You need a group. You need a team. Other people just like you to help support you. And that's what the Be the Torch movement is all about. We've got the team. We got the people who are going through it just like you are. And we have people who have been through it that are a couple steps ahead of you that can help support you and pull you along and support you in this process. BeTheTorch.com. I look forward to helping you build a life that your business can fit into, not the other way around.